On the news this morning, Governor Obiano says all that is needed for ABS to be on 24-hour broadcast transmission on DSTV is ready. Oka's top decision-making gathering upholds support for incumbent traditional ruler Obi Nwosu. Obafemi Awolowo University student commits suicide over poor academic performance. World-first malaria vaccine launched in Malawi. Good morning and welcome to the news. My name is Nonye Nwokoye. The Anambra state government says all is now set for ABS to commence 24-hour broadcast on DSTV platform. Governor Willie Obiano gave the assurance during a parley with select ABS staff and members of the governor's press corps. Government House correspondent Ejike Abana reports that the parley took place at the governor's residence in Aguleri, Anambra East Council area. His report is taken from here.
The governor, who said he's impressed with the current output of ABS, noted that he has put things in motion to ensure that ABS is accommodated on DSTV. With a sense of pride, Governor Obiano further noted that he watches ABS and appreciated the staff for their hard work and efforts, especially the managing director and chief executive officer of ABS, Chief Uche Nwora, who himself said he will soon write a recommendation certificate. Going down memory lane, the governor stressed that the state government has invested over 2.9 billion naira to give the station its present digital status, away from what was obtainable in 2014 when he assumed office as governor. While quoting some areas of improvement, he revealed that after implementation of the new minimum wage, which he said will add over 2 billion naira to the state's wage bill, he will do more interventions for ABS and its staff, urging them to continue as he's solidly behind them.
Stations. I'd like to tell you that we're making arrangements for some of you to get some training, particularly the people that are reading the news, and also the people that are packaging what's being well. Thank you for a good job and urge you to do more.
For his part, a member of the board of management of ABS who doubles as the traditional ruler of COTTAGE, Igwe Roland Odebo, thanked the governor for the commendation, asking the ABS staff to keep their eyes focused on the ball.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. You've done well. We appreciate you so much and all you're doing, and we continue to justify the confidence that you've imposed on us. Thank you.
Enugu community has keyed into the state government's program of Operation Clean and Healthy Anambra by launching their own brand of Operation Clean and Healthy Enugu. The event, which held at the Civic Center of the community, attracted government officials, UNICEF and Ruwasa, among others. Emmanuel Chibata is our guide.
The event, which was tagged Environmental Restoration of Enugu, kick-started with pickup of waste from Enugu Civic Center down to Nkwo Market of the town and distribution of nose guards, safety boots, cellophane bags and hand gloves, while lauding the operation Keep Enugu Clean. The Anambra State Deputy Governor, Dr. Nkem Okeke, represented by his Senior Special Assistant on General Duties, Dr. Charles Nwufo, commended Ndi Enugu for being the first out of all the communities in the state to respond to the clarion call of Governor Willie Obiano in keeping a healthy environment.
I would like to officially launch, through cutting of this tape, the Enugu Community Development Union Environmental Restoration of Enugu. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
On his part, the Commissioner for Environment, Architect Mike Okonkwo, who reiterated the utmost importance of keeping the environment clean, equally lauded Governor Obiano for filling up 5 erosion sites in the town.
Put your waste in a bag. We are not mandating that you use any particular bag, but one that's strong enough to hold the waste. You put it in and then you cinch it. That means you tie it, take it to the proper place and place it there. The government will do their part, the communities will do their part, and the individuals will do their part.
In their separate speeches, the President General, Comrade Bonny Ozonkwako, and former Vice President General of the town, Engineer Mike Dike, noted that the community launched the project to commit themselves towards keeping a clean, green, and healthy environment. The event witnessed inauguration of members of Enugu Community Development Union National Board of Trustees and lecture by Sumtech Program Officer from the Ministry of Information and Public Enlightenment, Mrs. Chineze George Ileka.
We say kudos to Enugu community there for keying into government initiative. And moving on, the people of Oka community in Oka South local government area have once again reposed confidence on their enthroned leader, Obi Dr. Gibson Nwosu Ezozo II of Oka. This was a unanimous statement made by indigents of the community during the general meeting of the town known as Oka Assembly. Our correspondent Ngozi Obileri covered the event which took place at the old Oka Stadium, the site for the town's civic center under construction.
Speaking at the event, the traditional ruler of Oka, Obi Nwosu, appreciated Governor Obiano for developing the community since he assumed office, commending him for approving the construction of many feeder roads in Oka. Obi Nwosu added that the community is solidly behind his government, which he said has contained series of provocations and plans to incite crisis in the community, calling on every Onyoka to work towards the growth and development of the community by allowing peace to reign. A former presidential advisor, Chief Ben Ndiobi, who is a stakeholder in the community, said that Oka Assembly is where all the citizens gather to take decisions that will be binding on every Onyoka. Earlier, the President General, Oka Development Union Nigeria, Engineer Tony Okechukwu, briefed the Assembly on a lot of issues bordering on the development of the town as it concerns the 20 million naira Choose project initiative of the governor, which is in its third phase now. Engineer Okechukwu dismissed the rumor by certain quarters that old stadium site has been sold out, pointing out that it is the old communal land owned by the community. Several others who spoke during the meeting suggested ways to sustaining peace and progress of the community, where they said that the land where the civic center is being constructed is now the meeting point of the town. The oldest man among them later prayed over the unanimous decisions of the assembly. Those present at the meeting were the elders, also title holders, kingmakers, the youth, and other opinion leaders in the community. In Oka, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Farmers in Umuezanam have lauded the state government for the COTTAGE hospital under construction within the farmers' camps at Obuaku, Umuezanam, Anambra West Council area. Ogochukwu Orano fight the report taken from her.
The COTTAGE hospital, which started barely 2 months ago by the state government, is nearing completion. According to Chief Stephen Okafor, a stakeholder from the community, the hospital on completion will take care of the health needs of farmers who find it difficult to go long distance to access treatment. He asserted that the town has gained so much from the present administration in the state.
So we quite appreciate the work of the governor.
For Mrs. Celia Okonkwo, a groundnut farmer, and Mr. Onora Ojako, a yam and cassava farmer, the COTTAGE hospital will save the lives of farmers who work day and night in the farm. They pleaded with the state government to sink a borehole in the hospital for them as they lack potable water in the camp. They promised that if provided with loans and modernized farming facilities, they would be able to produce the expected quantity and ensure food security in Anambra State. For his part, Mr. Chinwuba Emeka, another stakeholder in Umuezanam, government should devise a means of ensuring that loan facilities get to the community where genuine farmers are concentrated.
We are right now inside the farm, and you can see the farmers themselves. Okay. These are the farmers the road is supposed to reach, and they have confirmed here that they don't receive loans. They never.
However, at the Obuaku stream that provides water to the farmers, it was observed that the water has some colorations that signify presence of impurities. Well, it is left for the government to make sure that water borehole is added to the Cottage Hospital to give them a healthy life because health is wealth. Ogochukwu Orano for ABS News.
As part of efforts to give the less privileged succor this Easter, parishioners of the Anglican Diocese of Agwata on Easter Monday donated clothing materials, shoes, food, beverages, confectionaries, detergents, among others, to indigent members of the public. The donations were made during the first edition of the Diocesan Easter Retreat, tagged A Visit to Galilee, which took place at St. Margaret's Church Field, Ndi Keliong in Orumba North Local Government Area. We have details of that report.
Speaking during the event, the Anglican Bishop of Agwata Diocese, Right Reverend Samuel Ezofo, who maintained that without event there will be no history, said that the resurrection of Christ on Easter brought hope to Christians in addition to giving them victory. He called on Christians to aspire to be apostles of peace wherever they find themselves for enhanced development of the society.
Victory, Mary, Jesus, Mary, Mary Owa, Mary Kwensu, Mary Omo, Mary Ili, Mary everything,
In their various remarks, a one-time President General of Ndi Keliong, Mr. Boike, and the traditional ruler of the community, as a Professor Chukwuemeka, who described the event as remarkable, called on Christians to always live Christ-like life in order to inherit the kingdom of God. The bishop, in company of some diocesan officials, the clergy, parishioners, as well as the traditional law of Ndi Keliong, as a Professor Ike, later visited the proposed site for the diocesan retreat center, where land for the project had been donated by the people of Ndi Keliong. The event featured testimonies, special number by the bishop and his wife, Chinyere, prayer for the state, the nation, and various families.
Kolapo Olawo Morocco, a student of Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife, has reportedly committed suicide after repeatedly failing some courses. Mr. Olawo Morocco was an extra-year student, computer science student who ought to have graduated 2 sessions ago, but was delayed as a result of 2 outstanding courses. It was learned that his mate graduated in the 2016-2017 academic session. The deceased, who served as the General Secretary of his departmental association in 2016, swallowed a poisonous substance which led to his death last Sunday. In 2017, a female student of the institution also took her own life owing to poor performance in one of our courses. The international oil benchmark Brent crude has surged to its highest level since late October 2018 after the United States President Donald Trump announced the decision to end waivers that allowed some countries to buy crude oil from Iran without facing U.S. sanctions. Brent, against which Nigeria's oil is priced, has risen by about 40% this year, aided primarily by production cuts by the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, as well as U.S. sanctions on exports of crude oil from Iran and Venezuela. Brent increased by $2.28 to $74.25 per barrel as of 6:30 p.m. Nigerian time on Monday. The rise in oil prices means further accretion to Nigerians' foreign exchange reserves, which have been increasing in recent months. The reserves stood at $44.736 billion as of April 17, up from a 2019 low of $42.296 billion on February 28. And now the world's first malaria vaccine, RTS, pilot program has been launched in Malawi. This makes Malawi the first of 3 countries in Africa in which the RTSS vaccine will be made available to children up to 2 years of age. RTTS is a scientific name given to the malaria vaccine and represents its composition. The R stands for the central repeat region of Plasmodium P, falciparum circumsporosite protein, CSP, T for T-cell epitopes of the CSP, and the S for hepatitis B, surface antigen, HBsAg. The other two African countries, Ghana and Kenya, will introduce the vaccine in the coming weeks. Malaria remains one of the world's leading killers, claiming the life of one child every 2 minutes, according to the World Health Organization, WHO. And now on sports news, Raheem Sterling has called for clubs whose fans racially abuse players to be hit with a 9-point penalty, saying current punishments meant the issue was nowhere near being sorted by football authorities. The Manchester City forward has become increasingly outspoken on racism in football, abuse on the pitch while playing for both his club and on England duty. Recently, he cupped his hands to his ears in response to derogatory chants from Montenegro fans while playing for England last month. Now, Sterling has become one of the signatories to a manifesto published yesterday's edition of Britain's The Times newspaper, calling for more Black, Asian, and minority ethnic BAME people in positions of power within football, more severe punishments for racist abuse, and greater action by social media organizations, sponsors, and traditional media. Now remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And the main points of the news again. Governor Obiano has said all that is needed for ABS to be on 24-hour broadcast transmission on DSTV is ready. Oka's top decision-making gathering has upheld support for incumbent traditional ruler Obi Nwosu. Obafemi Awolowo University student has committed suicide over poor academic performance. And finally, we brought a report that world first malaria vaccine have been launched in Malawi. And that's the news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Nonya Mokoye. Good morning.